Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Ringo TV Reactions. Continuing on with our conversation regarding the passing of Shanquella Robinson, we have a little update. Pretty sure you most likely have heard this, but I want to talk about it. Arrest warrant has been issued in Mexico, so you know what that means. That means that an arrest is evident. Somebody will definitely be arrested soon, and that's good news. If you've been following the story, you would know that 6 individuals were present, allegedly, when Shanquella was beaten, and they did nothing about it. These particular individuals did not stop the fight. It was very clear that Shanquella did not want to fight. One individual mentioned something along the lines of, Quella, at least do something or hit back, something along those lines. And she said no, because she didn't want to fight back. She didn't want to fight. So we heard many lies. We heard different stories. People twist up the stories a lot. And hopefully soon we will definitely see some sort of justice, because, the FBI is on the case. And now that they got this warrant out, it's most likely for the woman in question who actually inflicted the bodily harm on her that ended her life. I'm hearing word in these YouTube streets that, and I talked about this in some of my earlier video streams regarding the case. I talked about how there's a possibility that she was paralyzed during the entire fight, meaning that she was paralyzed, couldn't move, and couldn't even talk. And it's a possibility that under those circumstances, they may have inflicted more bodily harm on her, which caused further damage to her spinal area in her neck. I've listened to different commentators on this, even people that are in the medical field, and a lot of them were basically in agreement that there could have been a situation where she was paralyzed, but fully aware of what's going on, meaning she can hear the people in the room, she can feel the pain, but being that she's paralyzed, she can't even move her arms, she can't move nothing. You get what I'm saying? And due to the injury, it was preventing her from breathing as well. So not only was she in pain, couldn't breathe, fully aware of everything. If anyone would have moved her body at that point, they would essentially cause more damage to her neck and her spine, because based on different comments from different medical professionals that are in that field, and I'm just pretty much giving you a recap of things that they said. I'm not no medical professional. I'm not here to give you any medical advice. I'm just sharing what I heard. They were talking about how there are different, I guess, things that protect your spinal area, like the nerves and everything else. And they're basically saying that the damage that was caused was so severe that it would prevent her body from functioning with her brain. So, she died a horrible death. Let's just put it like that. She died a horrible death and was conscious and suffered until her last breath. And it is also said that when, I think, a nurse from the hotel or somebody, or wherever they were at this villa place, somebody came by. The person wanted to take her to the hospital and they refused. They said, no, do what you got to do in-house. You know what I mean? Do what you got to do indoors. We don't need to go to no hospital. We don't need to do this. So there's a great possibility that once these folks did what they did to Shanquella, they knew that if she would have got medical help early, she would have survived, right? And she would have basically reported all of them once she would have recovered, right? Because there are many people that can have spinal injuries and they can recover. You know, they can have life-threatening injuries. And if the medical professionals get there in time, they're trained to know how to do their job to make sure the person, you know, get the proper treatment. But we know with ninjas, once they inflicted this pain on her, they most likely started moving her around, bending her neck, causing more problems. So she died an excruciating, painful death while unable to even talk. Let all of that marinate. See, there has to be justice in this case. The justice that Shanquella needs is very serious. Now, I know there's a lot of people that are being murdered all around us right now. There's a lot of stories that people haven't even covered yet. There's other women that died. There's a lot of situations going on. We're going to get to a lot of different stories. But this situation is real. It's real bad. Just imagine you go out with your friends. You go to Mexico and you having a vacation. You enjoying the fruits of your labor. Next minute, you're in a fight. You don't want to fight because you're not that kind of person. But now you got beaten and you know, battered, right? And you're paralyzed. You can hear everybody in the room, but you can't tell them to stop anymore because you can't talk. You can't move, right? You're unable to breathe properly. And as they moving you and you're in pain, you in your mind, you're saying, stop moving me. I'm hurting. I'm in pain, but you can't. And your body is not showing signs that you're in pain because when I tell you, man, they did her so dirty, and to add insult to injury, to come back home, to fly back home and leave her over there. These folks, all 6 of them, must fry. They must fry. Like every last one of them must burn for this situation. Right? Because I'm hearing they came back home and had dinner with the family or did something, came by the house, and I'm like, wow. And then they lied to the mother. They lied to the father. So they all need to be brought to justice. So whatever this warrant is for, because it's most likely for the woman, I believe her name is Dejanay. I'm not sure. You could put it in the chat if it's Dejanay. The news media didn't put out the name. Some did, I believe. But I'm thinking, why just one person? Because who they going after? The one that was in the video? We got to go after all of them. But maybe they're wanting to put out the warrant to get Dejanay or whatever her name is. I'm not sure if that's her name. But maybe they're trying to go after her to bring her back to Mexico because they know she's going to talk. They know that she's going to basically tell on everybody. She's going to talk, and eventually they're going to have more info to find the whereabouts of everybody else. I mean, everybody is eventually going to go down in this case because the internet has been booming regarding this situation. People have been screaming out for justice, right? Everybody been reviewing the videos and talking about the situation. So most likely they're gonna end up having all 6 of these folks. I just hope they do this thing soon so that the family can get the proper justice they need, because the way she died, it wasn't quick. It was a painful, excruciating death while she's conscious. And there's a possibility that they were continually beating her while she already had the injury. You get what I'm saying? Meaning, based on the video, because I have the video in this particular show here that I'm gonna put on the screen, but I'm not gonna show the actual footage. It's interesting because part of the video I forgot to censor, so I gotta pause the video at a certain point. I already have it on my computer because I don't want to show the actual beating for various reasons. But there's a part of it that I did censor, so you'll be able to see, but you cannot see, if that makes sense, right? Because I had censored part of it. I forgot to censor the other part, and I kind of just caught it while I was reviewing the stream before going live. Good thing I did that, so that there won't be no surprises. But this situation is really bad. It's really bad, and hey, as long as everybody's keep putting pressure, because remember, the reason why the FBI, the Mexican police, and everybody's involved, it's because of you folks that have been putting the pressure. It's because of you. Yeah. Because you've been putting pressure through your TikTok videos, through your YouTube videos, all the blogs, everybody been applying pressure. The news has saturated the internet, and it got to the right people who pushed the buttons. And they're the ones who most likely said, look, the people are making a lot of noise. We got to get on the case. Because the way this thing was set up, it was designed to get brushed under the rug. It was designed to get brushed under the rug. Once Dejanay, Nazir, and all these other folks realized that this woman was dead, they said to themselves, you know what? We got to get back to America. We got to get back to our homeland. We got to put this behind us, because if we get caught, we're going to go to a Mexican prison. So let's get on out of here. Leave her there. Let's make up a story. And hopefully we could get away with this. So once this warrant is put out there and they bring the alleged beater of Shanquella into office to question her, hopefully they will get her to start singing. And she's going to begin to talk about everybody else that was there and what they did. Because once they tell her, look, you're going to be serving life in prison. So if your friends had anything to do with it, let us know now, because it don't make no sense you go down and they had their part. So she's going to most likely sing. They know that. The FBI do this all the time. This is normal for them. They know once we get one, they're going to start to sing. So I'm going to have 2 back-to-back shows, this one and another one, where we're going to kind of review like what are people in the community saying regarding the situation. So I'm going to do a review on that. But let's just take a look at these news clips and kind of just have the conversation and talk about this as we go. Let me put the volume up. You already don't know how I am with my volume. Always have the volume low. All right, let's see.
This morning, authorities in Mexico have now gotten an arrest warrant and have started the extradition process after 25-year-old Shanquella Robinson of North Carolina was found dead last month at the place that she and 6 of her friends had rented in Cabo San Lucas. CNN's Ryan Young is joining us with more details. Ryan, this had been a bit of a mystery at the beginning after she had been found dead. What are we learning this morning, and why is this warrant now been issued?
So they now issued this warrant to basically get these folks back to Mexico. I think they're calling them the Cabo 6 now. That's the new word on the streets, the Cabo 6. Wow. When y'all go to that Mexican prison, you will wish you weren't born. You will wish you weren't born. It ain't like America. They forgot to tell you that when you went to Mexico. And you break the laws and you commit murder, It's just crazy. Now, I know in my last streams, I talked about how at first I said, yeah, they plotted to murder her, blah, 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 blah. And then I think I double backed and I said something along the lines of, I believe they just wanted to humiliate her, embarrass her on social media, but it went wrong. Remember? And because it went wrong and the murder took place, they had to go along with it now. I truly believe that when this entire ordeal happened, they were not planning on killing her. They were planning on having a simple fight, do what they had to do, embarrass her, put it on social media. You know, the typical stuff that ninjas do, where they show stuff on YouTube, they show stuff on Instagram to embarrass people, right? And possibly to extort her, maybe to get some money, maybe to get her to do some things for them, out of fear of the tape being released, being that she was naked and so on and so forth. But for whatever reason, when that woman was beating her, I mean, basically everybody's saying it was a woman that was beating her. It wasn't a transgender or anything like that. But the way this person, I will say, was beating her, it was as if though a man was beating her. The blows were so severe and she was connecting on every last one of them. And I believe that when she swung her around, she was banging her in the back of her head. I think between that timing is when the injury happened. Very, very serious. You know what I mean? This is why when you're in boxing and different sports like boxing, you know, you got to know how to throw your punches. You got to know what to do. You can't be punching people in the back of their head. You can't be doing none of that type of stuff. You could give somebody a severe injury. You know what I mean? It's no joke. You know, you can really kill somebody in the ring. So, hopefully, once they get these folks, man, we're going to hear the news. Maybe they got her already. Maybe they got her already and they just didn't release it yet, because once the FBI is involved and they got that warrant, they coming for you. They're not going to like waste any time. They coming for you. This is not like your local police department playing games. This is the FBI. You know what I'm saying? These are the big boys. You know what I mean? When they come in, they're going to get you. They know exactly where you are. They tapping everything. They're going to find your whereabouts. And once we get her in custody, eventually all the other 5 is going to get in custody as well.
Yeah, Caitlin, a lot of people across social media have been wondering about this. This went viral on social media. In fact, before we got to this part of the investigation, there have been videos spreading for weeks showing this young woman apparently being beaten by one of her friends. We can't show you this video right now because we have not been able to authenticate the video, but her father says it is his daughter who's being hit over and over and dragged through a room inside this.
Somebody said something about double audio. What do you mean double audio? Somebody said double audio. Is the audio okay? Because if the audio is okay and this person is saying double audio, you will be going on my block list right away, because I don't have no time to play any games while I'm streaming. So now, are you hearing double audio? Somebody said we're hearing an echo. Okay, now everybody's telling me they're hearing an echo. What's the point of having a chat, right, if nobody's saying anything? What's the point? This type of stuff right here is annoying, because it's like you hear something in the beginning, but you don't say anything. Double audio. Double voices now I'm hearing. People say they're hearing. Now, this is a mystery. I guess I got to call the FBI for this one. So people are hearing double audio. Let me see. Because on my end, I don't see anything else. So what exactly is everybody hearing? The video you are playing is echoing. But when you talk, it sounds normal. The video I'm playing sounds like it's echoing. Let me see. Let me see. Output here is normal. That's normal. Mic normal. Wait a minute. Let me see. I think this is better. How about that? I think I solved the problem. That should have fixed it. All right, so now we're gonna have to start the video all over. Now we gotta start it all over again. Okay. It should be fixed now. Let's just run a test.
It is very difficult to watch. It's from that video where people really started asking for.
It gotta be fixed now. Just let me know if it's fixed so I can start over. I'll just start the video back from the top. It gotta be fixed now. Somebody said there was no issue. Sound is good now. Okay. That was the issue. All right. Okay. So I apologize to the person that I said I was gonna block. Don't get mad. It's just a part of the game. Because stuff like this happened. One time I did a whole live stream and nobody could hear me for about 30 minutes and nobody said nothing. After 30 minutes, I start seeing people in the chat saying, hey, bro, there's no volume. I'm like, y'all now telling me this? Okay, so let's roll it from top.
This morning, authorities in Mexico have now gotten an arrest warrant and have started the extradition process after 25-year-old Shanquella Robinson of North Carolina was found dead last month at the place that she and 6 of her friends had rented in Cabo San Lucas. CNN's Ryan Young is joining us with more details. Ryan, this had been a bit of a mystery at the beginning after she had been found dead. What are we learning this morning, and why is this warrant now been issued?
Yeah, Caitlin, a lot of people across social media have been wondering about this. This went viral on social media. In fact, before we got to this part of the investigation, there have been videos spreading for weeks showing this young woman apparently being beaten by one of her friends. We can't show you this video right now because we have not been able to...
Not beaten by one of her friends, by one of her frenemies. See, as news anchors, y'all gotta call it what it is. Like, this was not a friend. This was an enemy. Right? A frenemy, a demon, right? Let's get back to the tape.
Authenticate the video, but her father says it is his daughter who's being hit over and over and dragged through a room inside this villa. It is very difficult to watch. It's from that video where people really started asking for more help. The FBI got involved, and the Mexican authorities have said this was a direct aggression. She suffered some spinal cord injury from this beating, and so many people want to know exactly why 6 friends could go to a place to have a good time and then all of a sudden it end in this kind of violence. Take a listen to one of her friends in Charlotte being upset about where we are.
I'm glad that it's getting the attention that it needs, because I wish it was like this from day one. I'm more so disappointed that she was around people that she thought were her friends.
She thought they were her friends. They were not her friends. The woman on the screen is supposed to be a friend. I don't know who she is. Maybe somebody could fill in the blanks. But this woman is one of Shanquella's friends, and she's happy that it's now getting the coverage that it's getting.
Yeah, the big conversation really is about how this moves forward, what happens next. The name of the friend has not been released just yet.
The name of the friend in question has been released. See, the news media is behind on a lot of information because we that are on social media that are pretty much covering the case, talking about it, we know all the names, thanks to, I believe his name is Gerald. He been on the case as well, putting out a lot of information and, you know, he got the photos, he got all of that other stuff. So, you know, thanks to him, a lot of the names have already been dropped. You know, their phone numbers, a lot of information been out there. So the news media is kind of behind on a lot of things. It's like they playing games. This is why the FBI is supposed to be on the case. This is why the warrant is out there. And once you have a warrant, they have a name. You have to understand that. You can't have a warrant without a name, right? All right, so there's no echo. Everybody said everything is good. Okay.
And the details surrounding this still are very murky. But you're saying this happened over a month ago. And I can tell you there's a lot of people paying attention to the idea that this 25-year-old woman could go away for vacation in Mexico, get hit several times. There's video spreading all over the internet. And
But she ain't get hit. She got brutalized. She got beaten severely. You know what I mean? That was not some little fight. That wasn't even a fight. You know what I'm saying? She was violated, right? She was tortured. I would go as far as to say that she was tortured. Shanquella was tortured because all those people were in the room and nobody helped her. So it's not a fight anymore because she didn't want to fight. So she was tortured. She was basically beaten to death, right? In a room where no one could save her. So everybody that's in that room is supposed to be brought to justice. Everybody, not just one person. Because sometimes, hey, let me just throw it out there. Sometimes they may end up getting the Dejanay woman or whatever her name is. I hope I'm pronouncing the right name and I'm not just wasting my time. So if that's the correct name, put a 1 in the chat so I know I'm not just saying somebody else's name looking crazy, because I don't want to look crazy. Right? So sometimes what might happen in a case like this, they might get the woman who beat her and only bring her to justice. And the other folks, they went scot-free. If that happened, the people in the public gonna go crazy. So to the authorities, or everybody said that it is the name, Dejanay, okay. Sometimes they might end up making Dejanay pay the price and use her as an example, right? If that happens and the other 5 walk, the people are going to go crazy. So to the Mexican authorities, y'all going to have to get all 6 of these folks, all 6. Everybody got to pay. Everybody. Especially the Nazir guy. He got to pay because he was doing a lot of singing, a lot of talking, and his story kept changing up. He was lying the whole time. So he got to pay too. You know what I mean? All the women get their phones, check their records, check their family. Y'all got to do what y'all got to do in this case, man. These folks got to be brought to justice.
Took this much time to make things move. They're hoping to have more information as the time goes on, especially with the intense sort of scrutiny that's going on.
She was a very humble spirit, very sweet girl.
Shanquella Robinson's coffin brought into the church by a horse-drawn carriage. Her celebration of life services bringing out hundreds of people. Loved ones wore pink in her honor. Danny Griffin, a family friend, says she'll always be remembered as a kind soul and Daddy's little girl.
Daddy's little girl, man. Remember when the father broke down in my last stream and he talked about his daughter? That was tough to listen to. Because when I first seen the first initial news brief that had the father and the mom in it, I thought it was a little questionable. I thought it was something different. But then I began to look at it deeper and I realized that the father was in so much pain that he was numb. So when he was in the first interview that published, it looked like why isn't he crying and why isn't he doing this? And it's not that he didn't care. The man was in so much pain. He was in shock that his daughter is dead. And the pain is so deep and so real that you trying to keep yourself together as a man. It looked one way on the camera, but behind closed doors, man, that man was hurting. So when he was in that other interview and he kind of broke down, that's when I saw it. And I was like, wow. And the thing is, every podcaster, every guy that did a stream, every woman that did a stream, and when they got to that part of the stream, when the father broke down, Everybody felt the same thing. You felt his pain when he talked about his daughter. And it kind of would remind you about your own kids if you were in a situation. This is why they need justice. You understand? That family needs justice. Nothing can bring closure because remember, Shanquella's gone. She's not coming back. But for these people to be walking the street having a good time, eating steak dinners, you know what I mean? Watching the internet. Remember, the Cabo Six is out there watching the internet and they're watching everybody that's going live and they're looking at what we're saying. And they're on the run. Basically, they're on the run right now. And they're hoping that nobody will find them. This is why it's up to you folks that are in the now, that got their photos, to report what you see. If you see them somewhere, hey, pull out your phone, fam, and record that. Bring that to social media. Let everybody know where their whereabouts is because the feds are watching and trust and believe they watch these videos. They use these videos to put their cases together. So always be mindful of that. Everything that you doing right now, everything that every other podcaster is doing, every platform is doing, it's all helping as a collective to get justice for Shanquella. Right? Let's get back to the tape.
Sometimes her daughter just don't do wrong in front of her father's eyes and everything. And, you know, she was the twinkle of his eye.
Robinson's death remains a mystery after a trip with friends in Cabo last month, but her death captured the hearts of communities beyond the Queen City.
It means a lot to see Charlotte supporting her and her family.
And that's a good thing. It's a good thing. Shout out to Charlotte and everybody that came through, that did their thing, came out, paid their respects. You know what I mean? You know, because it shows that a lot of people that the situation touched them. You know what I mean? It really hit home. I'm pretty sure everybody there didn't know her, but they came out because I remember when I was streaming and I was like, look, people need to go out. They need to support. They need to do this to show the family that, hey, everybody's with them. And, hey, that's a good look. I'm sure that, and then they wore the pink colors, which represents the colors that she was into and so forth. So that's good. And we got to show that kind of support even in the situation with Takeoff. This is what I'm saying, fam. You know, this is what I mean. I mean, look all the support that Shanquella got, all the people that came out. The same type of thing got to be happening in the Takeoff situation. Can't turn a blind eye to this. Don't let it just go under the rug and then you just forget about it. Y'all got to have that same energy. You know what I mean? When these type of cases come out, y'all got to be there to support it and make people be aware of what's going on, because there's one particular attorney lady. I think she's going to be in this particular tape here. Is she in this one? No. She's going to be in my next stream. She was talking about how, I guess, people in her community, so to speak. Now, her community mean, I guess, people of the other nations, people that are non-black. They were not following this story, meaning that it wasn't even on their mind. It was on our mind, meaning that we knew about it and we were pushing for justice. You know what I mean? For lack of better words, like Black YouTube or Black Instagram. And we were the ones pushing the story. Everybody else from the other nations, it was like, it was nothing to them. And the attorney lady was like, it's sad that when stuff like this happen, you know, we're making all the noise, but everybody else is like silent on the issue. And the thing is, it even shouldn't be like that, because whether it was a black woman or a white woman, it doesn't really matter. Justice is justice at the end of the day. You know what I mean? If it was a white woman, if it was a white woman that got beaten in Mexico by her friends or by anybody, people would pretty much do the same thing. I know I would be on the case. It doesn't really matter. A story is a story at the end of the day. It's just crazy how it took this long for the FBI to get involved. And the only reason why they got involved is because of we, the people. They did not get involved because they wanted to. They got involved because we, the people, were making noise. This is why I keep telling y'all, you have power. Every podcaster have power, influence. Every TikToker, everybody on Instagram. If you got a phone, you got power. As long as you making noise and doing your part, and we all doing our part, the internet is flooded with nothing but Shanquella, justice for Shanquella, and it's all over. The news media is going to have to pick it up. This is what I'm telling you. When it comes to the takeoff situation, y'all got to make noise. Y'all got to be on the case. You know what I mean? Shanquella's case is getting way more coverage than Takeoff's case. Have y'all noticed that? And he was a multimillionaire, and that's not to say that multimillionaires get better treatment, but my point is why we don't have that same energy. Where's his justice? You see what I mean? Where's his justice? Why the FBI is not looking into this case with Takeoff? That you don't find it suspicious? Something for you to ponder on.
A daughter, I have nieces. That child was amongst friends, and she should have been able to feel comfortable and feel safe. This shouldn't have happened.
Robinson's neighbor and stylist, Lavaris Smith, styled her hair for the trip and says he's heartbroken.
She was just excited about going on her trip.
That's right, Paul Brown. That's definitely true what you said. I don't know why your comment is like that. Let me make sure that it shows. He said black men's lives are never valued. That's true. Sad to say, but nobody value us brothers, man. It seemed like we pass away, something happened to us. It's like nobody really cares about us, fam.
And she said on my chat, we just talked about a lot of personal stuff. Like, we just clicked like she was like my little sister.
Now, who in the chat said that they don't know who Takeoff is? Are you serious? Who is Takeoff? Like, are you serious, fam? Like, with all the videos that are on social media, you don't know who Takeoff is, man. I'm not even going to waste my time. Let me get back to the video.
Well-known activist Tamika D. Mallory says she stands in solidarity with the Robinsons.
Losing a loved one in the heinous way in which has happened to Shanquella, there probably will never be peace for them. But there cannot just be an unopened situation. It has to be closed with truth, and it has to be that there is accountability for those who are responsible for her death.
Gotta be. They gotta be held accountable for what they did, fam. They gotta be held accountable.
Griffin says this is a tough loss, and he is leaning to his faith.
Everybody that have children, either it's a son or a father or a daughter or anything, it make you want to just get down on your knees and pray for this family, and then pray for the protection over your own children.
That's true what he just said right there, because see, a lot of you folks out there, you have kids, right? And especially if you have daughters, a lot of your daughters, a lot of times they got their female friends, and you know, kids are kids. You know what I mean? You got some teenage girls, and they out there, they got their girlfriends, and you got some sons, they hang with the brothers and whatnot, and they do what we all did when we were younger. And sometimes when you look at situations like this, you kind of, have your thoughts kind of playing in your mind like, is my daughter's friends really her friends? Are my son's friends really his friends, or are they plotting? So it's kind of like you don't want to be ultra strict because, as a parent, one of the key things that you must do is don't be so overprotective. That's one of the most dangerous things you can do as a parent, is be extremely overprotective of your children. You got to let them fly. You got to let them go out there. You got to let them just breathe. You got to. The only thing that you're supposed to mainly do is instill in them the right and the wrong. Tell them the right, tell them the wrong, tell them the consequences of what happened when they do this and that. That way they understand from you what's going on. But don't be that kind of parent that you want to keep your kids from everything. You can't go outside. You can't go here. You can't do this. You can't do that. You can't. I'm telling you, don't do that, because you all know what happened when we were younger. Parents told us we can't go, we can't do this, we can't do that. Everything is no, 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 no. What we did, we rebelled, and we went out and we did dirt. Then we got in trouble. You know what I mean? So You can have limitations. I ain't saying don't say no. What I'm saying is don't spoil your kids. Don't spoil them and don't be overly protective. Let them learn. They got to learn the lessons in life. And the only way they're going to learn is when they're out on the battlefield. They're going to have friends. They're going to get into fights. You know, your daughter may come home with a mark on her face. Your son may come home with a busted lip. It is what it is. That's a part of life, right? Once they learn these lessons, they're going to know how to move in these streets. That's just the way it goes, man. You know? So let's get back to the tape.
Jesse Pierre, WCNC Charlotte.
Welcome back, everyone, here to Live Now from Fox. Well, Mexican authorities have issued an arrest warrant for an unnamed suspect.
Let me make sure I censor the video, because I think right after this frame right here, you're supposed to see the fight video where she is totally nude. Not nude, but you see the fight. And I don't want to air that out. So what I'm going to do is, let me see. I'll put on this clip here like that. All right. And now I can play the other clip behind it so that you can hear it. But, you know, and I think I got to go up to clock 5:19 and then I could put it back.
In the death of American woman Shanquella Robinson. The warrant was issued yesterday by Mexican law enforcement, and the FBI is conducting a parallel investigation. The suspect has not been identified yet. This case is fully clarified. We even have a court order. There is an arrest warrant issued for the crime of femicide in the detriment of the victim and against an alleged perpetrator, a friend of her who is a direct aggressor, said the Baja California Sur prosecutor, according to news outlets. He added, actually, it wasn't a quarrel, but instead a direct aggression. We are carrying out all the pertinent procedures such as the Interpol alert and the request for extradition to the United States of America. Robinson was found dead in the city of San Jose del Cabo on October 29th.
I hope they get those folks pretty much brought to Mexico fast so she could get her just due. Like, seriously. You know what I mean? She need to get that justice ASAP.
After traveling to the resort area with 6 friends the day before, Mexican authorities say her cause of death was a severe spinal cord injury.
Severe spinal cord injury.
A homicide investigation has been launched. Robinson family was initially told by Robinson's friends that she had gotten sick with alcohol poisoning while on the trip with friends.
Wow.
Local reports reported that.
Okay. I think at that point, it's safe to go back to the other video footage. Let me see. Yeah. Now this particular part here is censored. Hopefully there's no other uncensored clips in there, but this is like the clips where you actually see, but I had censored it so that you don't see the full fight the way it's supposed to be.
The death certificate painted a different picture and described the cause of death as being a result.
Now think about that. I'm still confused about this, fam. Was that a woman? Seriously, man, like, because they're calling it a femicide, right? Was that a woman that was beating this woman? Like, I want to know, because it's really bugging me out, man. That it don't appear that way. It don't appear that way to me. I watched the tape. It was as if, you know, it don't appear to be a woman. That appears to be a man, bro. And I'm not even trying to be funny. I don't know if they're just trying to cover it up. I don't know. It appears like this is a man that's beating this woman, bro. You have to think about, look, you got to think about the blows that she received. This person was not built like a woman. So I'm kind of like confused because everybody's saying this is a woman. This is a woman. First of all, I'm going to say straight up and down. The 3 dudes that were there, I think them dudes are playing for the other team. If you don't understand my language that I'm using of the team, you know what that means, right? If you don't, hey, figure it out. Because they appear very feminine. I'm going to say it like that. And by the pure fact this woman was naked in front of them speaks volumes of that. It ain't like she was dating any of them. There is also an alleged video of what appears to be a alleged boyfriend of Shanquella that is circulating around. You don't see his face or anything, but you hear like audio. I typically don't believe none of those type of videos. I consider them clickbait because a lot of content creators during the Shanquella case, during the Takeoff case, they're making fake videos. I've warned you about this, where they'll have someone interviewing and, you know, you'll hear a voice claiming, hey, I'm the boyfriend. And somebody will be interviewing them on the phone or whatever. And most of the time it's not no boyfriend. It's just to get some clicks, just to get some views. So that's all alleged. I'm not doing no videos with any so-called boyfriends or anything like that because, like, how is it that you're the boyfriend, but your woman is on a trip in Mexico and you're not there with her? So it's kind of like, why would your woman be in Mexico with 3 other guys on a trip and you're the boyfriend? That doesn't even sound right. So it's like you would be there with her. You know what I mean? And not saying that if you have a relationship, you have to always go with your partner, but to know that she's going to be there with 3 other guys and 3 other women, it just doesn't compute, you know? So I have my doubts regarding the person who's beating her. My personal belief, and this is just my personal belief that I'm entitled to, my opinion. I believe that it's a transgender, and the media is not saying it for whatever reason. But eventually it's going to all come out. That's just my take on this. The beating that she was getting was not that of a woman fighting a woman. I could be wrong, but I'm going with my gut feeling, and I'm going with what I see on the tape. That was not she was too aggressive, man. Too aggressive and throwing hard blows, knocking this woman around. That was not a typical woman fight. That was more like a situation where you have a guy who identifies as a woman and he's fighting a woman. Always remember, even though it's a guy and he may identify as a woman, he's still a man. And if he fight you, he's going to fight you with the same aggression that a man would have. You know? So I don't know. And if it is a woman, then she's built like a man. Let's just call it what it is. That means that women nowadays are fighting like animals now, because the way she was fighting was like she was trying to kill this woman. That was not no normal fight. The blows that she was giving this woman was like she's trying to kill her. That was anger. That was hate. There was a lot of venom in those blows. Right? Let's get to the tape.
Severe spinal.
You see that? Come on, man.
Cord injury.
At that point, I believe Shanquella was already paralyzed at that point. Now, people are going around saying that there's another video or blah, blah, blah. Don't believe none of that BS. There's no other videos. Everybody keep making up these things about, oh, there's another video of her getting lifted up and thrown on her neck. Stop listening to all these videos. I'm tired of all of these clickbait channels just posting a bunch of garbage to get you to click. And they don't got no info. As soon as you click, ain't nothing there. You know? I seen one video, somebody says, the woman who killed Shanquella, it was arrested. You thinking, wow, she was arrested. You click on the video, there's nothing there. The person is just talking a bunch of garbage. Clickbait. Be careful with all of that type of nonsense.
Along with instability of the first 2 neck vertebrae.
Now think about this. One person is standing on the right with the phone, a light-skinned person has the phone, and there's a dude the one that has the phone is on the right side of the screen. The one that's on the left is the dude that got the beard, right? Let me see if I can bring a photo in. I didn't have this set, but let me see if I can bring this into the video. Let me see. I think this is it. Right here. Right? That dude that's on the left side, that's that dude that's in the video, fam. That's him. I don't know who he is, but these are all your suspects. You know what I mean? These are your suspects. All of these folks need to be brought to justice and put behind bars ASAP. All of them. Right? But he was on the left, so why would a man be inside the room while this woman is naked? And she's comfortable. She would have been like, hey, I'm naked, like, get out the room. So the dude, most of those dudes that was in that room, they play for the other team. I'm just calling it what it is. Because if this woman has an alleged boyfriend that is so-called on social media giving interviews, right? Then why would his woman be naked in front of other guys? This is why you can't believe everything you see on social media and everything you hear. So if you see any videos where anybody claiming that they're the boyfriend of Shanquella, that's clickbait, straight off the top. That's fake. Because why would this woman be in two videos? One video, she's being beat while naked, and there's men inside the room, right? And in another video, she's telling all the women, hey, it don't take that long for you bees to get naked, which means she's already naked, walking around the house where there's other guys. So obviously those other guys play for the other team. Right? That's why she felt comfortable with them there. That's why she had no problem going on the trip with these guys, because she knew that those guys, they play for the other team. To each his own. That's what you want to do with your life. That's your personal business. I don't got no problem with what you're doing. You know what I mean? Just don't bring that around me. It is what it is. Let's get back to the tape.
A video circulating on social media appears to show a woman attacking Robinson. Mexican officials are now speculating that Robinson received medical care from a professional before she was discovered.
See how the person is hitting her? See, first of all, Shanquella didn't want to fight. They came in there because they hated her. They came in there because they were plotting. Remember the video where she was walking saying, hey, it don't take that long for you bees to get naked. At that moment, they were already plotting. They were plotting to fight. That's why when she was walking back to the room, the dude was walking ahead of her to sort of kind of make everybody stop talking about her. And then when she walked in the room, everybody started looking funny because the conversation was about her. They were planning on making it hot for her, but she didn't know. She didn't know that they were plotting against her the whole time.
By authorities and pronounced dead. The medical professional reportedly told Robinson.
You're not telling me anything that's new when it comes to Pookies. You're talking to a content creator that's been doing this since 2006. I'm always talking about these issues. You're not telling me anything new about Pookies. I know about this. I talk about this. Do you understand? I'm constantly telling women to avoid dealing with these damn ninjas. But women love hanging around Pookies and Ray Rays. This is what they do all the time.
His friends that the 25-year-old was suffering dehydration and needed to be taken to the hospital. How alcohol and bodily injury contributed to Robin's death is still unclear, as the alcohol was reportedly not mentioned in the death certificate. So we'll continue to follow this story here for you right here on Live Now from Fox and keep you updated as always.
A huge development in the Shanquella Robinson case. We just posted this story to WSOCTV.com. The FBI tells me they have officially launched an investigation into Shanquella Robinson's death. This is a big deal.
Someone said some nonsense. I don't have time to entertain people. I'm just removing people from the chat. As soon as I see anything that's kind of crazy, because my mods are not here. So if you post anything crazy in the chat, right, we're just going to just remove you from the chat because we don't have time to entertain you.
Because before they sent me this email today, all the FBI would say was that they were in contact with Shanquella Robinson's family. This guy right here to my right is Chris Swecker. He is the former assistant director of the FBI, and he says this announcement that the FBI has launched an investigation is a huge deal. Because keep in mind, all of the friends that she went on the trip with are back here in the United States. So
all the friends that she went on the trip with is back in the United States. Imagine that. They do their evil and they come back home, right? That's crazy. Don't entertain LinkedIn pages. I don't know why people entertain those type of pages. Those pages can be literally fabricated, edited. People gotta just stop. Like, seriously, y'all gotta know where y'all getting information from.
The FBI will have a much easier time getting a hold of them than Mexican authorities. He also says you won't have to worry about any conflicts of interest with Mexican police since this happened in a tourist area. He says it's infinitely more likely we'll see a resolution now that the FBI is involved. Tequila Long's living room is filled with...
Could y'all please stop asking stupid questions in the chat about who I believe she was deleted by? She was deleted by a person, a human being, right? So let's not be dumb. Stop with the dumb questions. Like, seriously, grow up.
Photos of her sister from her memorial service. She and Salamandra Robinson, Shanquella's mom, tell me they are grateful for the outpouring of support from the world.
Just to see your city backing you and everybody is supporting you and having your back, you can't beat that.
Long and Robinson are eagerly awaiting updates from the FBI and Mexican authorities on how Shanquella died. It comes as a journalist for...
Well, we know how she died. You know, we know how she died. We know what went down. We know about the cover-up, right? And we're just waiting for justice at this point. That's what we're waiting for.
Cabo publication gave Channel 9 new details on what friends told police about what happened. The journalist for Metropola MX provided us with what he says is the text of the police report. We do not have a copy of the report to independently verify. According to him,
you know what I cannot stand? I cannot stand when people come into the chat, right? And maybe I should just turn the chat off. Because it's annoying. It's annoying when people come into the chat and they say things and they post things that like we know already. One person says, I don't know if y'all know, the autopsy report says that her neck, her spinal cord was completely cracked. Which means somebody broke her neck. We know that already. Duh. Like, what's the matter with you folks? You want attention? You want to be seen? It's been almost a month. You don't think we know that already? You ain't hear how many times I just finished saying that? You know how many times in this stream I said that? My goodness, man. It's crazy out here, man. I'm telling you, I don't know what's the matter with people, man. I really don't. Like, seriously, like, there's certain things people just do, and I'm looking at them and I'm shaking my head like, you think this is my first video? You must be new. You know how many videos I've covered regarding this case? This is all over the world. Everybody knows that. Maybe you just found that out. That's probably what it is.
Report says the friends told the responding doctor that Shanquella drank a lot of alcohol and that the friends wanted her treated in the room, not the hospital. The report text states Shanquella had poor verbal response when the doctor arrived.
You see, poor verbal response. Remember I said that she had a hard time communicating. She most likely had a difficult time breathing. And they refused the medical folks. They told the medical folks, hey, y'all could go. We don't need to take her to no hospital. Why? Because they knew if they would have took her to the hospital, they would get caught. That's why they packed up their bags to get up out of there. That's what they did.
And that she died within 3 hours. He says the police report lists her death as cardiac arrest. It doesn't mention the severe spinal cord and neck injuries that the death certificate lists as Shanquella's cause of death. The autopsy also doesn't mention alcohol. It states she died within 15 minutes of her injury and that Shanquella Robinson was found unconscious in her living room.
Wow. The autopsy should overrule the police report, because the police report is written by cops, and the cops are not forensics experts.
Fabian Meneses is a criminal defense attorney in Tijuana, Mexico. He says the police report shouldn't be taken as definitive fact. It's just a document listing what officers were told by people on scene.
That's exactly true. What they're saying right there is true. You cannot take a police report as facts. It's just based off what people say. Remember the late Kevin Samuels when he passed away? What did the police report say? The police report says some woman named Hortensia, I forgot her last name. She pretty much was there and met Kevin Samuels the night when he got pretty much deleted. Now it's being said that that's not even the name. Like the person is like made up. They lied about the name. Right? The whole story is twisted because the person said that they met him the night that he died. Come to later find out, another YouTuber basically is saying that Kevin Samuels already knew this person and was planning on allegedly making this person a wife. How they know that? All of these things I've covered in videos already. So the police report for Kevin Samuels passing, totally fabricated. You can't really believe those and take those serious because it's based off what people tell the police. They're just writing it down. It's up to investigators to dig deeper. It's up to the medical examiners to give the proper info on what took place because a police report doesn't always give you all the facts.
I would say that most police reports don't have the truth because it's either hearsay or they're being custom tailored to what the police needs to be in the report.
The police report was written the day Shanquella died, 3 weeks before Mexican authorities launched a femicide investigation.
See, why they call it femicide? You got to peep all of that, fam. That's why I'm just looking at this thing for what it is, man. Hey.
That's the killing of a woman because of their gender.
A killing of a woman because of her gender. So what are they saying? Like, women get killed all the time. So, hey, what are they saying? You be the judge.
Long and Robinson say they are hopeful the FBI gets to the bottom of this and finds out what really happened.
I'm confident that they will.
His family has commissioned a private autopsy. They do not have the results back yet. They also say the coroner sent them a photo of Shanquella after she died, and she had a busted lip, swollen eye, and bruised face.
Now notice all of those injuries she had. Shanquella had all those injuries, and yet people want to tell the parents that she was poisoned by alcohol. That's what they told them. Isn't that amazing? So, warrant is out. Arrest is going to be made. And hopefully, we will get the justice that we're looking for Shanquella. That's right. Eventually, the Cobo 6 will be brought right back to Mexico to face judgment. And it's going to be big news, because the way they did this and the way they covered it up, they have to pay the price. So we wait. They can't hide for long, right? Once they have that warrant out, eventually they're going to have her. They might have her already. They may have found her, but it haven't reached the news media yet. We may get something in maybe in the morning, maybe on Sunday, Monday morning. Once you have a warrant out for your arrest and the FBI is involved, they taking this thing very serious. You don't want the FBI on your tail, fam. If the FBI is hunting you down, you better just go turn yourself in, because they gonna get you. All right? So that's all I'm gonna say for now. I'm coming right back on with another stream where I'm gonna pretty much review what people in the community is saying regarding the situation. Kind of review the tapes, see what's going on with everybody, and talk about that. So I'll be right back in about a good 10-15 minutes. So y'all take care. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. Ringo TV Reactions, the #1 reactionary channel on YouTube, bringing you the best in these YouTube streets. So I'll be right back. Y'all take care. Ringo TV Reactions. I'm out. Peace.
If you like our content, consider supporting via Cash App at $Ringo TV Raw. Become a patron on patreon.com for exclusive video content not shown on YouTube. You could also support through PayPal at paypal.me/Ringo TV Raw. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell to be notified of new content. Follow me on Instagram at Ringo TV Raw.
This is Ringo TV Reactions, the only channel on YouTube bringing you the truth 100% raw and uncut. I'm out. Peace.